Gonna do my contribution to humanity today to entertain people under a quarantine. But apparently I can't entertain everyone because there are the Bernie bros that are really upset. I didn't think I should make this video because while it is newsworthy, I didn't think people didn't expect it. But apparently a lot of people were taken by shock about this news. One day they were supporting for Bernie and then another day they were like, whoa, how did this has happened? Why did he step down? I did not expect this. Honestly, how can you not expect this? Like, I don't understand the type of person that is so emotionally invested into a presidential candidate to the point that they don't understand the machinations and they couldn't see this coming down the line. Very weird, bizarre. But yeah, there's a lot of people that have received this like a Kinder surprise. You know, you buy the Kinder, you open the surprise, and it's like, oh, Bernie Sanders, step down, no refunds. Very peculiar. And then there's this lady on Romanian Facebook. Okay, now I don't want to give her name out, do not contact her or anything like that, but I do think like she's the stereotypical foreigner, like myself, like person from outside the United States, who wouldn't get directly affected by Bernie Sanders' politics, but they like him because of an ideological reason. They like him because if America becomes socialist, then hopefully other countries would follow suit. And most of these are young people. They're very intellectual. As you can see, like they have a book in the picture so that they can tell you they're intellectual. They're not working class. And they have been enamored. They have been fascinated by Bernie Sanders as if they are Mowgli getting hypnotized by the snake Ka. Now, I can get the appeal, especially if you're a young person. I mean, you have a politician telling you you're going to get free stuff. I like it, like, they don't even talk about employment. Like, when I was her age, that was, like, my main thing. It's like, I want to find employment, all right? Like, I want to get a job so I can make money. I want me to make the money. No, nowadays, it's like, vote for a politician that is going to turn the government into your nanny. Like, it's going to turn the government into mummy and daddy. And how does this work? Well, you go to your job, you earn a wage. Now, mummy and daddy takes that money away from you because you are stupid, incompetent, and don't know how to properly spend it. And mummy and daddy will spend it for you. So that when you need the doctor, mummy and daddy is going to look at the money that you gave them, and they're going to, all right, here you go. And then you go to the doctor with the money that is still yours. Like, you still work for that money, but you gave it to mommy and daddy earlier that year. It's like, well, why do you need a middleman? This is what I never understand. Like, why the need for the middleman? Because the government does not produce wealth. What it does is it takes wealth from the citizen and then redistributes it, because the citizen is incapable of making the smart decision with his own cash. Now then you can make, well, no, see, it's going to take money from the rich. Yeah, I mean, that's what they say to the stupid people. The ones who read the final print, they're going to realize that it's not just the rich that are going to be affected. Like, you need to be some sort of a special person, see? I'm maintaining the political correctness. You need to be a special person to believe that a millionaire like Bernie Sanders is going to go into politics to become less rich. Like, he's going to take from his own mind. In fact, like, even in his discourse, you will notice that he was talking about millionaires and billionaires. And until the media started pointing out that he's a millionaire, he only talked about the billionaires. Yeah, the billionaires are going to just take their money to China if this is going to happen. It's just like, not to mention, like, if you tax the rich, do you honestly think that the rich are going to just pay those taxes out of their own pockets? Or they're going to increase the prices for their businesses in order to maintain the same level of wealth. And when they increase the prices for their businesses, who's going to pay? You. You are going to pay. But yeah, no, like, I'm not going to get into socialism right now. The interesting part is that you cannot have socialism in America. America is the most capitalist nation on the face of the earth. To try to put socialism into a country where people have guns, it's insane. Like, first of all, the Constitution wouldn't allow it, because socialism means nationalizing the means of production. The means of production are private property, and private property is guaranteed by the Constitution. So you literally, like, you would have to change the Constitution. You would have to convince the overwhelming amount of Americans that this is good for them. And good luck doing that. So no, I like the other way would be by a revolution. And again, like if you want to start a revolution in a country where people have the right to have guns, good luck with that as well. So this is why most individuals that are the Bernie bros are very young individuals, because either they do not understand these machinations, or they're managing to get a cult of personality by pushing this ideology. And on various internet forums or on various circles, everyone looks up to them because it's like, oh yes, tell us how glorious the revolution is going to be. And you have like this lady who says she didn't cry because of the virus this week, as much as she cried while listening to the Bernie Sanders speech, where he decides that he's going to resign. It's like, woman, how emotional can you be? Like, how much tears can you spend? Like, you realize the virus can be transmitted through the tears, all right? I haven't fact-checked that, by the way. Please, just consult the WHO. YouTube tells you to consult the WHO. I don't want some vice journalist to fact-check my channel and say, Romanian is saying that the virus can be spread through tears, and now people who like to lick tears in Dota have stopped doing this because of the false information. Just that. But my point is, like, honestly, like, why are you telling the world that you are crying based on the speech of a politician? You know, like, this is what little girls do. You look like a grown-ass woman. Grow the fuck up. I don't want to be mean or anything, but like, if you're going to cry from every single nonsense, when something actually important happens, like heaven forbid a funeral, or your football team loses the cup, then when you're going to cry, it's going to diminish that. Well, what do I know? So apparently, according to her, Bernie is one of the people that regain her trust into politics. Not just to her, but for millions of other people. The movement that he created and the social dialogue which he started are sincere, and they have strong impact into our daily politics. And it's like, okay, right, no, like, fine, you know, I don't know if he actually created something that is particularly his, because the idea of public healthcare in the United States have been long discussed. And I have made videos about it. I'm not going to go into it now. But still, you know, like, did he actually bring something brand new to the table that no other politician has brought? I don't know. What I do know is that the idea that people are saying that he was always sincere and that he always maintained the course, maybe that was actually true a couple of years ago. But recently, he did cock really hard to identity politics, didn't he? Like, I don't know, like, when Bernie first came out, I was team leftist. I'm not even going to lie, like, when I started my channel, my YouTube channel, I was team leftist. And I didn't know anything about American politics, I didn't know anything about that, but I would listen to him speak, and I was like, yeah, you know, he does sound like a good guy. And then, there were, like, these black women at a rally, which forcefully, like, by force, took his podium. And I lost all respect for him after that. It's like, okay, well, are you going to allow yourself to be bullied when you become president? Because when you become president, you represent a nation. And there's going to be other nations that are going to try to bully you, to strong-arm you in order to get better deals, in order to get better advantages from the United States. So you're telling me that once you're in the world podium, you're going to allow other people just like these two, like if you can't keep two black women at bay, you know, and tell them like, yes, I will allow you to speak if you control yourselves. Like, this is not the correct way of gaining a platform. You do not get it by force and shouting and screaming. You're going to be like a normal adult. You're going to ask permission if you can use my podium, and if you ask it nicely, I will give it to you. No, he doesn't do that. Right? He steps back down and allows the women to speak and shame everyone at his march for being white. And I was like, all right, that's minus respect points. Like, a president shouldn't be weak, in my opinion. A real president should be tsuyoi, so that the people can borrow strength from him, so they can borrow some of that tsuyoi from the president. But no, think about it. Like, if the nation goes through a bad time, and you're having a bad day, and you're looking up and you see your president that's like fine. Like, you look at the Donald right now, during the pandemic, and he's not wearing a mask. And you're like, well, you know, if this person can be so brave not to wear a mask and talk with everyone and blah, blah, blah. Surely I can be at least half like he is. You know, like that you inspire strength. You know, like Churchill inspired strength into his people. That's an important aspect of being a leader. Look at Angela Merkel. Does she seem weak to you? You know, even if you don't like her, does she seem like a weak person? Does she present herself as a weak person? No. So that's what I'm trying to say. Now, another thing with Bernie Sanders, and I think this is one of the reasons he lost a lot of appeal, was that he was constantly advocating for peace. Like, he was anti-war. Like, constantly he was anti-war. Perfect. That was in a time when America was involved in the Middle East, and there were a couple of wars that people didn't like. Okay, perfect. But now, none of that is the case. That is not the issue today. The issue today is that maybe America should be a little proactive. You know, maybe they should send some spies into Beijing and find out what China's foreign policy is. And use the Chinese foreign policy in America. Like, literally everything. It's like, what is this? This little island. This little island that no one knows about. Well, China wants it, we want it too. And we want it as well. You know, what is China's policy in the African region? That is our policy now as well. Would you guys vote for me if I would run for the American presidency and that was my foreign policy motto? If China wants it, we want it too. If China, no, my bad. If China wants it, we want it more. Wouldn't that be interesting? All these NATO bases that are surrounding Russia, they helped stop the spread of communism, did they? Well, maybe we should surround other communist nations with NATO bases. Every communist nation deserves NATO bases. That would be my second motto. Would people vote for me, though? That would be interesting. I know, like, a lot of big businesses wouldn't like me, because a lot of big businesses are now knees deep into China. Just think about it. I should make another video talking about the economical ramifications. Like, if you're a CEO of a big business in the United States right now, your interest is not with the government. Like, you don't have loyalty towards the government. You have loyalty towards your shareholders, right? And what do the shareholders want? They want to make money. Well, if you want to make money for your shareholders, it is in the company's main interest to do business with China. So now you're knee deep into China. Wouldn't it be a shame if people started boycotting Chinese products or businesses that deal with? Oh my God, that would be horrible. So of course you're going to push and pour money into NGOs that are saying people are racist if they say anything negatively against the Chinese Communist Party. You're going to see that. Like, I guarantee to you that xenophobia is going to become a word that is going to be etched into the mind of journalists in the next couple of years. Like, it's going to be considered racist not to want to buy a Huawei phone. Like, that is my prediction. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I am very wrong about this, but this is the way I see things going. And definitely not the way I would want things to go. I would want things to go back like they were during the Cold War. How the free world treated the USSR. It did a lot of good for the Russians, by the way. Like, the actual Russia living under the USSR, or people like me living under the Iron Curtain, are very thankful to the West for the way they treated us until the USSR collapsed. Like, the actual human. I'm pretty sure the people at the top aren't happy. People at the top were very displeased. But anyway, right, I'm starting to rant. Okay, so there is a very rich vein of salt on Twitter regarding the fall of Bernie Sanders. I think these people are still going to vote for Biden because Team Blue. And I also think that a lot of them realize the important stake of the presidency. The stake of the presidency is not necessarily the fact that you have a president, but it's the fact that he can appoint judges. And I know that a lot of Americans do believe what is written on the law, that judges are supposed to be impartial. They're not. Every single person is subjective. Every single person interprets things their own way. And the same law can be interpreted in one way and another way. For example, the law regarding anchor babies. That law was passed in order to allow the black people in the United States, after they were released from slavery, to have their children gain American citizenship. Now it is being used that if I were to take my pregnant woman to a trip in the United States and she gives birth there, well, congratulations, I now have an American child. Other nations do not function like this. Like other nations, just giving birth on their soil doesn't mean that the baby gets citizenship for that nation. So if I take my girlfriend to Japan and she gives birth in Japan, no, that's not. And it's the same in Romania. Like you need to have at least one Romanian parent in order for the child to become a Romanian citizen, right? But again, it's like how the judges interpret it. If you were to have a conservative judge that looks at the law and interprets it based on the spirit on why it was passed, then you're going to not be able to have like the current situation. But if you have another judge which interprets the law based on the letter, then yeah, I mean anyone that goes. So it's like this is the actual goal here, to have a president that can appoint blue judges on the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court actually is more influential on the long run. So as time goes by, it becomes more and more influential, and those judges being appointed for life, yeah. Let me know what you think, and I'll read from you guys in the comments section. And take it easy. Stay healthy.